Yes, I did not mean to get to that, but who's the best defender under Sean McDermott ever?
That's a really good question.
For the Bills. Not going back to like Luke Kuechly with Carolina. Who's their best? Is it Hyde? Longevity is going to matter here. Milano is probably, unless I am missing somebody, the only player currently that goes beginning to end.
Yeah, right.
Matt Milano is on the team that breaks the drought. Like, he plays in the Jacksonville playoff game.
Right.
Between Tyrod Taylor and Blake Bortles and Doug Marrone, and like he's in that game. I don't think he starts that game. Should double check. Like, does he ever end up starting that season? He starts 5 games for the Bills in 2017. He's a full-time starter every year after that. He was a first-team All-Pro. So, but there's injury seasons in there, right?
Right.
And you've got Tre'Davious White, who was an All-Pro, but then injuries, and he's back now. But
right.
So I guess he would kind of be the answer.
Front to back too, yeah.
But he just took a year in between,
yeah.
Basically. Those are the 3, though, right?
Yeah. Does Taron Johnson deserve to be mentioned in there too a little bit?
Maybe, like if he
gets another 2 years of being elite, top sort of nickel guy in the league, I think he gets in that conversation.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Who, if I were putting a poll up, like who would the 4 names be?
Milano, White,
you think Johnson would be the 4th?
Hyde. It's between probably Poyer and him, right?
The reason why I wouldn't put Poyer on here is even though he, I think, is in this tier. Because he was an All-Pro, right?
Yeah.
He's in this tier. I'm just taking a pretty educated guess to say I don't think there's going to be many that believe Poyer was better than Hyde was. Over the course of their whole careers. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it should be Poyer.
They have always been
they're
equals and sort of just together. In my head, those two have been were such a mainstay and were both so elite that I never thought to go, I think Hyde's a little better than Poyer. I don't know how. I'd be curious how many people out there thought that when they had them both at sort of the peak of their powers.
Right.
Were there people out there like, I think Poyer's better than Hyde? To me, they were just a package deal, and you had the best 2 safeties that you could have.
Johnson, by the way, to you bringing him up, he was a second-team All-Pro. So that's the tough part here is you got 5 Bills, unless I'm missing if there's a 6 somewhere, 5 Bills that have been an All-Pro on some level while Sean McDermott's been the head coach. I think, though, the other 4, Poyer, Hyde, Milano, and Tre'Davious White, all were first-team All-Pros.
Right.
And Taron Johnson was second team, so maybe that should be the reason why he'd be the odd man out if I were to put a poll up on this.
And, yeah, that's fair. And I think Johnson still has time to get himself in that conversation if he's got another 2-3 strong years left.
Right. He almost goes beginning to end. He's drafted in 2018.
Right.
So that's 7 years already. And he's got a contract. Like, I think he's probably going to go a couple more. He probably ends up being the longest tenured of any of these guys. If he's got like 3 years left in him, which he might. He plays a position where those guys can age, but like playing into their 30s and still be good, but your body's got to hold up, and that can be tough because when you are, what's Johnson? 5'11", 192,
right,
and you're so commonly being asked to slide into linebacker because teams are running the ball against your nickel base.
And just getting taken on giant blocks.
Right, your body can just get beaten down over time. It's kind of amazing he actually has played as much as he has.
I've always thought that about him. Like, he's a slight guy, and he gets out there, and he goes against way, way bigger men and just flies through it, and he gets up, dusts off, and he is unbelievable I feel like every night he makes a good play. He's really impressive to watch because of that, almost more than anything.
Yeah. I feel like he's the 5th man, though.
I agree.
Who are people going to answer, you think? Who are people going to say is the best defensive player that they've had under Sean McDermott?
I think Milano will get a lot of love there, and probably Hyde.
Those would be the top 2?
I think so. I think White deserves some love on it.
It's just going to, for him, be that it got interrupted.
Yeah, and he,
right.
And when it got interrupted, I think this will probably stick out with the Ravens. He looked so, or not with the Ravens, with the Rams. He looked so not himself.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that might stick in some people's minds just as a recency bias thing. And Milano ended up kind of coming in strong at the end of last year and looked better. So I think that'll help. Hyde never really flamed out that badly. So there's not really a picture of those guys struggling for people to kind of think about.
Yeah, and for, I guess maybe the difference there would be, like, really for Tre'Davious White, you only get, I mean, some guys will give you, this, and it's fine. We talked about running backs the other day with the Bills, and, like, all of them are, like, 4-year careers for the Bills. That's Tre'Davious White, really.
Yeah.
Like, it is the 4 years of his rookie contract where he's healthy, missed only a couple games. He's an All-Pro multiple times. He's almost winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in his first season. He kind of walked into the league as maybe one of the better corners in football. And then year 5, year 6, year 7, all with the Bills are injuries.
Right.
He gets hurt on Thanksgiving in 2021.
That was so sad.
He comes back at the end of 2022. 6 games played there, and he started, but he wasn't the same.
He didn't look,
And then the next year, he started to look back to his form, and then bam, Achilles. So it's 11 games, then it's 6 games, then it's 4 games. So I've got 3 seasons that are kind of interrupted with injury, and like Milano, you could have the injury part of it as well, where he has 2 seasons where he's really had that interrupted. That's the thing about Hyde and Poyer, though. Hyde and Poyer didn't really have that happen. They had more natural deterioration in their games.
Time.
Right. But, I guess Hyde did miss a full year, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Was that a neck injury or something?
He had a neck injury. He missed the 1 full season, 2022. Poyer, I guess, played it pretty much all the way through, but he looked pretty shot at the very end.
There were times at the end for him where it was like, whoa. He can't run anymore.
Yeah.
Really.
Like that's why I'm kind of curious how this would go and what people would say, because I think most would often just group them all together. Like this is the top tier of Bills defenders in the McDermott era.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
And you don't often even think about separating them. Like thinking to yourself, like especially Poyer with Hyde, I've never really thought much about who's better. Who's better than the other? Because they were just, they're a package deal. It's Hyde and Poyer the whole way through. Although even that might kind of lend yourself to which one you might prefer. I feel like I always put Hyde first when I name the two. But that's just me. 803-0550 is the phone number if you got an answer on this. I did want to talk a little bit about this season's Bills defense today and what we should expect from them, where we should expect them to finish. Like, could they be a top 5 defense? Are they more likely to be 5 to 10? Are fans still thinking they're going to be like middle of the road defensively? Get to that a little bit as well. There's a lot coming up. We've got Jonathan Peterlin coming up at 8 o'clock. There's one NBA thing that I wanted to say today or talk about, because there is a real possibility that LeBron James gets traded this offseason. And the weirdest thing ever to me is that, like, ESPN especially has just been LeBron content.
Yeah.
Wall to wall for 20 years. Right? He's never been traded. And this is the first time it might happen. And nobody is talking about it.
I know. I've seen
nobody is talking about the possibility of LeBron, who is still incredible, 6th in MVP voting last year. He might get traded, and I'm not seeing much attention paid to it. It's very strange. So a little bit on that. And then also this NFL collusion case that is growing, and the NFL Players Association is maybe going to get like blown up in the process here. Like that's a huge story in the NFL right now that is happening, and it's getting worse, I think, on the player end of it.